I'd like to begin by sharing with you some of the features of the new ThinkBooks you will be using. We'll begin with what ports you have available for those of you who are used to plugging things into either your desktop or a laptop, possibly a Chromebook. It is a USB-C charger that you will have. Along with that is another USB-C port that can be used to plug something in. There's also an HDMI port and a USB port, along with a single plug-in for either speakers or headphones. On the other side is another USB port, along with your on-off switch, and also a stylus. Why a stylus, you ask? If you don't know by now, this ThinkBook is touchscreen. So you have the capability of doing it by touch or a full keyboard when you want it. Beyond that, it is a yoga, which means yoga, it can flip and become more like a tablet for you, something that you can carry around with you if you wish, to walk around your room so that you can monitor and also allow your students, if possible, to work off of this screen when you are displaying onto your board to show whatever you need. It has a front-facing camera only, so when it is flipped, it is down at the bottom, but it will show correctly when you are doing some kind of a video, and it will flip around, as you can see. And then your camera is at the top, and you now have a laptop style computer that you are used to working with. Many of you use a document camera to display things for students and attach it to your current device. With your new devices, it should be a pretty simple process. We have a variety of different types of IPVOs that I know many of you are using. In order to use it with your new laptop, you should be able to just plug it right into the laptop. There are USB connections on the side of your laptop. Once it is in there, if you are used to using the IPVO visualizer, you can download that. However, you do not need it. A simple way of doing it is simply using your document camera through your camera app on your laptop. To get to the camera app, you simply go down in the lower left corner, search for camera, and camera app will come up for you. When you do that, it will use your computer's camera at first. However, in the upper right-hand corner, you should be able to change your camera view by just clicking on that, and it will flip it to your document camera once it is attached. It's as simple as that. And when you want to go back to seeing your own camera, you just flip that camera switch again up in the upper right-hand corner. Any questions or difficulties in getting your camera to work, please feel free to contact the help desk. Your new Lenovo Yoga laptop that you have received has been beta tested by some of our teachers within the GRACE system. I'd like to share a few things that they have observed during their testing period. Some of the positives are that the touch screen makes a big difference when it comes to grading in PowerSchool. It allows you to obviously not have to constantly be moving a mouse around. You can touch it with your stylus or with your finger and get your grades in much more quickly. They have also found that it is lightweight and easy to carry around with you, either in its laptop mode or flipped around into the yoga mode, which makes it a tablet style for you, and it's much easier to carry around. Having both Windows and Chrome, for those of you who had been using a Chromebook, this has been helpful when you need to get documents that maybe are not Google friendly and you need to receive those and look at them. You do have Microsoft products to be able to use. The keyboard is also easy to type on. The keys are easy touch, so I've been finding that to work well. The long battery life has been very helpful for those of you who have older devices. You know that your battery did not last real long. This should take you through an entire day and maybe longer. As you can imagine, our beta testing group not only found the positives of our device, but also found some challenges or concerns that they discovered as they have been using their devices. So, to help you get through some of those, I'd like to share with you what are some of the things that they have discovered. First of all, as you can imagine, with a new device, the screen is quite different than the older devices we have. It is very bright. It also tends to have issues when you are facing a window and you get a lot of glare on it because of the kind of screen it is. To help you with that, obviously, you can go down to the bottom and you can always search for things that you want to change. In this case, you want to go to brightness and you can change your brightness level. Some of the things that we noticed here, your brightness up at the top, you can make it quite a bit different in brightness. Recommend in a glaring situation, try to change that somehow. Also, you'll notice there is a night light on here, which should make it a better screen for working in a darker area if you want to. So you can change those settings. Along with the display, there are other things such as going to sleep too quickly. They are defaulted to go into sleep mode or power down mode quite quickly, and we have not changed that for you. We want you to be able to determine what works best for you. So when you go to power and sleep over on the left side here in the box, or again, you want to search for it, all you need to do is put one of the words. So if you just do sleep, because many of you will discover that it goes to sleep way too fast and you have to constantly be signing in. So go to your sleep settings, change all of these so that they will not go to sleep or power off the screen too quickly for you, especially if you're going to use it to be attached to your display boards and working with students. You don't want it to constantly have to be signing into your machine. So go ahead and change those. And the other thing that they have discovered is the displays. If you continue down a little bit further from the brightness, you will see that its display resolution is quite high. This is the recommended one and it works really well on the machine. But if you attach your machine to any kind of an older display unit or a monitor, you may have to adjust that resolution. So you just go in here and you can pick from several other resolutions until you find one that works well for you. Obviously, you also can change from landscape to portrait if that works better, and you can do some flipping. So there's some extra things on here. And then if you do connect to another device, either a display board in the front of your room or a monitor on your desk, you will have some areas down here where you can have it duplicate or extend for you. Again, if you want to make those changes, you can just type in the word display and those options will come up here for duplicating and extending your connected display, and then that'll take you to the display area. Along with some of those setting changes that you might want to make, we also have discovered a couple of features that you might want to make sure that you are aware of. Many of you I know have used Jamboard when presenting. There is a whiteboard also connected right with your new device. If you go down and search, it is called SmartNote. It will come up. It's the SmartNote app. It is built right into your machine. As you can see, it defaults to a black screen for you, but you can change that. One thing to note is that SmartNote must use your stylus to write with. As you can see, when I pulled it out, it comes up and shows you that I've activated the stylus. And so I can write with my stylus anytime I want. I can change colors. There's some color changes that can happen here. And if you want to, you can erase, obviously. If you notice, I'm touching with my fingers. Touching with your fingers will flip pages. It will not do what you want it to do. So you do have to use your stylus to make that happen. You can also hit the delete and clear your page completely. And you now have a new page look. If you want a different color background, hit the three dots at the top and go to background template. There are 8 options for you to choose from. So you can go to aligned white if you want. Just hit finish. You can also set it to be your default. So if you don't want black to be your default, you want white to be your default, just set that as your default. And that is what will come up from that point on. And again, it's a simple tool that you can use when you want to get out. You just click the X. My recommendation is that when you do open it up for the first time, it's something that you are going to want to use more often. When you get Smart Notebook open, minimize, you will notice the little symbol down here for the Smart Note. I would right click on that and pin it to your taskbar. That way it'll be easy to find. You don't have to do a search again for it. The other thing that teachers like to have when they are working with this device and using it on a display is to be able to write over the top of a website or some type of document that you are displaying. So for many teachers, they use Think Central for math. So if you have a Think Central page on and you want to be able to write over the top of it, you need an extension added. Right now, I do not have that extension, so I'm going to go out and search for it. It is called Page Marker. That is one that we have found has worked well for everyone. It's a very simple writing tool, but enough to give you what you need. You just need to look for it. It'll come up with it in the Chrome web store. Make sure it's the one with the red marker symbol. There are a couple of different ones named the same, but that's the one you want. Add it to Chrome and then say add extension. You'll notice the little red marker will show up here at the top for the first time you open it up. But if you would like it to stay there and pin it, you just go to your extension symbol, which looks like a little black puzzle piece, and scroll down to where page marker is and click on the little pin. And now it will be pinned at the top of your screen at all times. When you want to activate it, you simply touch it and the little box comes up with all the tools. You can change your color. You can write with a pencil. And this one you can do with your finger or with your stylus. You can thicken up your lines if you want. You'll notice they get thicker. You can use a marker eraser. This allows you to erase very easily. And then you can also take whatever you write on here and you could save it. You can download it. Also, just simply do a delete and that will delete what you just did. And like I said, you can change the colors. It also gives you a little tip that if you need straight lines for any reason, you hold down a shift key and do your drawing and it will make straight lines. If you don't want that tool activated, you just tap on it. Hopefully some of these will help you get started using your device to its fullest potential. If you have any other questions or concerns, need something else, please feel free to put in a help desk ticket and we will assist you in finding a way to make it work well for you. The final challenge that we have faced in implementing these new laptops for you is, of course, your display units. What is being used as a display unit in every classroom, every building is varied. We have smart boards, we have Aquas boards, we have Clever Touch, we have ViewSonics. We sometimes just have a projector and a screen. There is a multitude of ways people are displaying their devices for their students. Because of that challenge, it's going to take us a little bit of time to get all of you to where we are hoping to have you in the future, which is that this new device will allow you to move around your room freely because it is wirelessly connected to your display board. For some of you, that will be very quick and easy because you already have a device that has a casting unit on it, either built into your board or a Chromecast that is already attached. For those of you who do not have that available to you at this time, we are working diligently to get those up and running for you, find a way for you to display wirelessly. However, as we know in the world today, it is hard to get some of our electronics, and we're talking large quantities of some of these, and we're also looking at the age of our equipment and whether or not that is the best way to do it. So until that point, what we're going to make sure is that your new device can be hardwired to your display. Most of you have a display that you can hardwire to that has an HDMI end on it. And that HDMI, I'll quickly show you what that looks like. So an HDMI end is one of these kind of ends that you see here. That is, if you have one of those, that will plug easily into your machine. If you have an older way of connecting, which is called VGA, it looks something like these, you will need an adapter to be able to plug into your new laptop. Those adapters have been purchased and will be available to you immediately. So make sure you let someone know when they bring your device that you need an adapter. As we are able to come into your buildings and work with each of you individually, and we can obtain those wireless devices, those casting devices, or take time to set up that casting, we will be contacting you and working with you.